Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology from 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Looking for something new in dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, alternative history? They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. Get the 10-volume box set with 159 stories and full-color illustrations plus 34 articles with writings and art tips. Get the UPRN discount, $125 for the entire box set. That's a $60 savings for that beautiful box set. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Go to uprntalkradio.com, click on the link, and place your order.
Hey, good evening and welcome to Into the Night. How's everybody doing? I see all my family in the chat room. Johnny, how you doing? Patrick, my bro, what's up? Sebastian, how are you, buddy? I haven't seen you for a while. Listen, I'm not on. That's Jenny's show now. Into the Night, so I'm not on that show. This is my show. Hi, Virginia. Good to see you. Cindy. Good to see you. Cy, good to see you. So again, everybody, welcome to Into the Night with Sean Kelly. And what a week I had, I really enjoyed last week's Sunday night show. A lot of good things were brought up. I had a lot of good people in the chat room, so everything was pretty cool. Week was great. Hey, Cindy, good to see you. It's like that I work at a supermarket, and yes, the turkeys are getting really ridiculous, but you know what? 4 more days, then no more turkeys. I love it. And of course, I need to bring up that I am on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. And tonight we're going to have a decent show. I hope some people get something out of the show tonight. If not, you can do your own little research on them, all that kind of good stuff. If you have anything that you want to include on this topic that I have tonight, please feel free to do. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm telling you. I mean, the last 3 weeks with all my wonderful people there in the room, in the chat room, it's just the show is moving up. And I truly appreciate everybody that participates in my show. Let's see. Oh, one thing. This is November and hey, Amanda, good to see you. It is this disease, CRPS. My friend calls it craps because she has it. And what it is, is it's a disease where she's in constant pain all the time, constantly. Only the knows. Everybody in the room, Virginia, Cindy, Johnny, Patrick Kelly is my brother. He's good. He's gonna make it interesting tonight. She has this disease where she's constantly in pain. I have 2 other friends that have the same type of disease, and there is no cure for it. There is no cure for this disease. The only thing that they can do is give them, medicine, I guess strong drugs, in order for them not to get hurt. So if it is rough, Virginia, God, and they're all good women too that have this. They are beautiful people, and that brings up a thing to me. What really amazes me that it just seems like all the good people out there get all the bad luck and stuff like that. Like, why do the good people have to suffer when there are some really really bad people out there that just skate away? Who knows? I don't know. I sometimes I try to figure it out, but you know what? I don't. Um, I can't. There's no answer for it. But I guess I believe in the word karma on that because she does exist. Karma does exist, and in the bad ones eventually will get theirs. You know, may life is like that. Yes, it is. But who knows? You know what's going to happen. But all I know is if you all could say a prayer for her and my two other friends, I would truly appreciate it. So tonight I decided, you ever go in the woods? I know Johnny has, and I know a couple other people have. And you feel like there's somebody watching you. Okay. You know, when you're walking down the path and, there's, the birds and the noise. Thank you, Amanda. And you just feel not at ease. It feels like that somebody is watching. Thank you, Cindy. Um, and you're just like kind of like creeped out. That's the best word I could think about it. And I don't go out into the woods that much because I have to admit I am a city boy. I can't deal with the camping. You got to give me a hotel room or a motel room. I won't do the camping, maybe for a night or two. Have you felt that? Care to share, Virginia? Um, but it's hey Tony, good to see you. There's my brother from Texas. How you doing, Tony? Good to see you, buddy. And maybe Tony, if you hang around a little bit, maybe you can share a little bit of my topic tonight. Because Tony had some stuff happen to him when he was out in the woods. So it's going to be a good show. But yeah, so and did you ever walk around or look down at the grass or in the woods of some sort and you see a perfect fairy ring? A ring of mushrooms. Perfect. And you're like, how in the hell did that happen? Where did they all sprout out? And it's like pretty interesting. But I found out in my research that yeah, they are fairy rings. And also found out you can have a hell of a lot of bad luck or else the fairies are going to attack you if you happen to take if you cut a flower in the ring, or the ring, or you take a mushroom, because you broke up their circle. And from what I understand in some of the stories that I have read, true stories, okay, that the people who have done it really came into some very, very bad luck. Right. So that's tonight. Tonight's topic is about forest fairies. Okay. And it's really, really crazy because out in my backyard, sometimes I see these mysterious looking lights. My brother can attest to that too because he's seen them. And my brother's actually the one that turned me on to the fairies and stuff like that, and the gnomes and the people that live, the little people out in the forest. I remember one time that he laid out honey and milk, and a little jar, little cup of milk and a little cup of honey, and I would go and look at it, and it looked like some of that stuff, went down a little bit, like something was drinking it. Now, of course, you're going to have people that are going to tell me that it was just cats, or animals licking the honey or, drinking the milk out of that. But you know what? What's the craziest thing about our area is that we don't have no cats out in our neighborhood no more. There are no wild cats at all, you know. And so it's I have no doubt in my mind because I do believe in the fairies. Oh, we got some people here. Virginia says you feel like you're being watched. Pretty cool. Amanda says, well, if that ever happens to me, I will make sure to leave that circle alone. I'm already bad luck cursed. Oh, it's a good thing. Yeah, just leave that circle alone and, snap a couple pictures. Maybe you might get a little fairy, swimming or, flying around in there. Johnny says he just talked all night to a woman that researches for people. I would like to know her name, Johnny. You can ask her. I mean, I appreciate it. And Virginia says, Amanda, you are not cursed. Okay. So I did some research today on, the forest fairies. Okay. And it was pretty interesting, some pretty interesting rigs on that. Okay. Now, there's some fairies that I wrote down on my notes. So please excuse me. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate it. So the notes I took down, so please excuse me when I look like this because I'm looking at my notes, okay? I haven't put up another, TV screen so I can move it over. That's just too much, electronics for me to do. But so I was researching and they gave me some forest fairies that, the fairies that hang out in the forest. And the first one are pixies, okay? Pixies are pranksters. Some sources attack. They come. Some sources say that they are Irish saints. So I don't. I can't see that, but others claim they are the souls of virtuous pagans. So they're the ones that like fly around. If you want to look at it, what with Tinkerbell, you know what I mean. Let me ask you guys this question. Okay. What would you do? What would you do if you saw a pixie out in the woods? Or if you saw a pixie in your garden? What would you do? I'm not going to run. Maybe 10, 12 years ago, yeah, hell yeah, maybe I would. Um, I would definitely run. But you know what? Not now. I'm just like sit there in awe, you know? But it's really crazy. A lot of the stuff that I did read doing my research, okay, people know. I don't know if anybody knows lightning bugs. We call them lightning bugs. Other people call them fireflies. All right, we call them lightning bugs here in Pittsburgh, and and there are some times that, like, I'll give you a good example. In Gettysburg, I was up there one time filming the show, and it was in April. It was cold, and all of a sudden we were down in the peach orchard. There's about 3 or 4 of us, and all of a sudden, there had to be 30 lightning bugs, just like around us. No, it wasn't the season for lightning bugs at all. And so we're just like in awe because we're wondering why in the hell are they there? And wherever we went in that peach orchard, okay, they followed. And once when we left the peach orchard, okay, they were gone. So at that time we were putting our brains together and we were thinking, well, maybe they're the spirits. Maybe spirits are somehow connected to lightning bugs. Um, Amanda says, Amanda says she would take a picture and be so excited to see it with her own eye. Cool. Likewise, I'd be in awe. That's for Virginia. And Virginia said she has seen fairies once. That's cool. Jessica Berry, hi, Sean. Hi, Sean, how are you? I'm doing great. Hey, it's so good that you can come to the show. Johnny says lightning bugs were mentioned in Beaver Creek. Oh, really? Um, oh, yeah, your friend. I listened to your show. Yeah. If you can, Johnny, what is the name of that, your friend? Uh, I'm glad you're doing good, Jessica. I'm very glad. It's good to see you. Yeah, it is amazing. But, Johnny, so I could tell my people out there listening all over the world, what was the name of that YouTube that you were on by your friend? Um, so I can tell everybody if you can share that with me. But yeah, so could lightning bugs, be part of um, being a spirit? They also could be fairies too. Um, but we'll just have to see about that. Okay. Now the second one is okay. Thank you, Johnny. If you go to YouTube and you type in Planet 412 on YouTube, okay, there's a friend of Johnny's, and the guy's name is Matt. And I listened to it, and oh my God, it was interesting, very interesting. Um, but he has a it was a good show, and he talks about the lightning bugs too. Okay. So the next one we come upon is the leprechauns. Okay. Now, being Irish, of course, I was raised up about leprechauns. You know, haven't seen one yet, but you know what? Maybe one day I will. You know, um, just like the pixies. Okay. And I believe in them. Hey, Cy. Hi, Sean. Hi, everyone. My husband just got home from work. I'll stop by later. Have a great show. Thank you, Cy. Thank you for popping in. Johnny Freeman says 100% truth about Matt's story on Planet 412. But the leprechauns, and they are a race, leprechauns were a race of cobblers whose craftsmanship is beyond compare. Okay. Believe it or not, leprechauns are very wealthy. Okay. And that's why they are dressed poorly because, they're kind of like misers. You know what I mean? Or, no, I'm sorry, not misers, but hoarders. Okay, they like to hoard all their monies and all their gold. Okay, and you know what? I can see that. I'm Irish, but I'm not rich. I have some gold, but I'm nothing over the rainbow or nothing like that. But and the legend is that a leprechaun. Okay, let me read this. Okay, begins to a human. Oh, if he dances to a human song, he can't stop until the curse is up, the song is over. And so what happens, and from what I read, um, that if you play like Led Zeppelin or something like that, any type of human music, that the leprechaun starts dancing, and the only way for him to stop is for the music to cease. So usually when that happens, the leprechauns, they start saying, okay, if you stop the music, listen, I'm going to grant you three wishes. And then you can, wish for the pot of gold, whatever gold I have. And so the leprechaun, believe it or not, they turn the music off and the leprechaun grants them three wishes. But in the meantime, the leprechauns are tricksters too. Okay. And I'll tell you why. What they do is somehow say, like, I wish for a pot of gold. Well, when I make that wish, somehow the leprechauns know how to, like, definitely switch that spell around or that wish around, and you end up getting hurt, and you end up, being embarrassed in front of people. So, would I trust a leprechaun? You know what? I don't know. I don't think I would. You know. But if I saw one in the woods, instead of asking for the pot of gold, okay, I'll be just like, hey, what's up, bro? Sit down, let's talk a little bit. Let's see what happened. We got Johnny says 100% truth. Uh, Seibel says, "Hi, Sean. Hi, everyone. My husband just got home from work. I'll stop by later. Have a great show." And Virginia, Johnny says yes. And Virginia said, "John joined the Leprechaun, went to school with nothing on." Is that an Irish limerick or limerick or something like that? I don't know how to pronounce that. But that's all about the leprechauns there. Another one, and this is cool, they're called brownies. Has anybody ever heard of a brownie? A little elf called a brownie. All right, I did. I really, really did, Virginia. Thank you. Well, let me explain what the brownies are. The brownies, they come from Scotland, not Ireland, but they come from Scotland, right? And they usually help humans around their house with chores, and with them helping with the chores, they expect to be rewarded. And what they like to be rewarded would be is have some milk and bread. Now the downside, the bad side of the brownies are, okay, um, if they don't like the reward, they're going to wreak havoc all over again and kind of like destroy your house. And I've heard of the brownies before, um, but they are from Scotland, and I don't know. So maybe one night you go to bed and you're like, oh, hell, I got to clean the house up, damn it. And you're cursing, but you're so tired and you're going to sleep. And all of a sudden you wake up in the morning and poof, your house is clean. And you're like, how the hell did that happen? It could be a couple brownies inside your house cleaning up for you. So you better break out some milk and bread. And it better be good stuff. I'd throw a little honey in the milk. I think they would enjoy that. Amanda says, only in a movie. That was a good movie, too. Now, the other ones now, the gnomes, okay? Amanda says, wish the brownies would show up at my house. LOL, wake up into a clean house. Well, you know what? Maybe if you think hard enough, them brownies will appear. That would be so cool. And if that happens, Amanda, seriously, you have to come and tell us all about it. All right, that would be pretty cool. Now, the next fairy is the gnomes, okay? And the most popular gnomes out there are the forest gnomes, okay? And with them, they really don't have no contact with humans. I believe, thank you, Amanda, that would be nice. And the gnomes out there, someone sent me a picture about 3 or 4 years ago, and oh my God, it so looked like a gnome from the back. It had the red hat, everything. It was small. And I don't have that picture anymore. Maybe I don't know because I downloaded a lot of them. If I find that picture, maybe next week I'll put it up, and then I'd like to get your opinion on it. Okay. But they just don't have no contact with humans, and I don't think no humans would want to be in contact with them. They'd be running. Now, okay, here's another one. Now, you know how you get into that forest at night and for some reason you have no light, okay? And then all of a sudden, out of the clear blue, black sky or black night, you see these tiny little orbs just dancing all around, okay? Just dance. Little tiny, tiny, tiny lights. They bounce around, they move, and they move around like that. But it's a source of light. Well, they are called will-o'-wisp, the will-o'-wisp. Okay. And what's really, really cool about it is, and I read this, let's see, they say that the fairies in the woods, okay, will snatch these will-o'-wisps and kind of like use them as light as they travel through the forest. Okay. And I can tell you a true story about the will-o'-wisp, and I really, really believe it was. I was definitely at a cemetery doing an investigation, and we were inside this little chapel that was on on this graveyard. And all of a sudden, me and my friend, we were standing there, and all of a sudden, we saw these little lights appear. And it was like really, really crazy. Like they were dancing in the air, and we all thought it was spirits. Okay, we all thought it was like little ghosts or something like that, little somethings. But you know what? As I was reading about the will-o-wisp, well, maybe, hey, you know what? Maybe they were. Is it possible that there are some people out there that the fairies, the will-o-wisp, they actually know that if you're a good human and that you believe in them, that they would show themselves again? Is it possible? I think so. Another one is called the Green Man. Now, the Green Man's pretty cool. Okay, I mean, it was like almost a whole page describing the Green Man, and I would probably bore you half to death. Okay, about talking about the Green Man. But at the end, which was so happy to see, anything is possible. Definitely, Virginia. Absolutely. Johnny, you have seen gnomes. That's cool. Yeah. Amanda says, I would love to experience seeing these creatures or beings. I'll be honest with you, Amanda. I did see fairies. I have seen them. I will tell that story after I finish up. I'm pretty close done with the different fairies out in the forest. All right. But the Green Man, like I was talking about, right? At the end, they had a little paragraph, and they kind of explained what the Green Man was. And it kind of like fits in. If you still want to know more about the Green Man, please Google it and find out. But they considered the Green Man as Robin Hood. Okay, they considered Robin Hood as like the ultimate Green Man. Okay. Now they also have another one. It's called the Ballybog. Ballybbogs. Ballybogs. Okay. And they were the guardians of the bogs over, I do believe, in Scotland, in Ireland. They're not really good people, They are. Again, they will go and help a human. And it's funny, all these fairies that I am talking about right now, they do go out and they do help humans, but being a human, you act ridiculous and you want all kinds of crazy crap from them. And of course, they're going to get mad and they're going to lead you way out in the forest until you don't know where you're going and you're lost. I truly believe that. Okay. Now, the last one was Bogarts. Okay. Bogarts. Boggarts. And they are the cousins of the brownies. But with the Bogarts, they actually destroy the homes. Now, as I told you before, like about the brownies, how they go in and they like help clean up your house, tidy it up, clean it and stuff like that. But the Bogarts, what they do, okay, are they kind of like mess it up and destroy it. And those are the different types of fairies out there in the woods. If anybody has any questions, feel free to bring them up and we can chat amongst ourselves. But I have to take my commercial breaks here, so I will see you in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Okay, let me go get them. Everybody go out. Virginia can go to the bathroom. That's a joke. But here are the commercials.
Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology from 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Looking for something new in dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, alternative history? They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. Get the 10-volume box set with 159 stories and full color illustrations plus 34 articles with writings and art tips. Get the UPRN discount, $125 for the entire box set. That's a $60 savings for that beautiful box set. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Go to uprntalkradio.com, click on the link, and place your order.
Hey, welcome back to Into the Night, second part of the show. Don't forget, today's only an hour. Like I explained last week, I'm going to be doing an hour on Sunday nights, 8 to 9, or 8:05 to 9:05, and on Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10. Okay, so hopefully we'll see you here on Tuesday nights. I do want to thank Carnation for sponsoring the second half of the show. I truly, truly appreciate it. I also want to thank UPRN Talk Radio, Joe Montaldo, for allowing me to be a host on this program, on this platform, which I really, really am enjoying. So that is basically, our break, my commercials, and we'll get back to the show. I guess everybody was laughing. I am so sorry, Virginia, if I said that, but everyone knows it. It's kind of like a joke or something. All right, so forgive me. Johnny Freeman says in June we were asked to go research in Virginia. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Virginia's beautiful. I love Virginia. I like traveling through Virginia. But the reason why, okay, you mad at me, Virginia? I hope not. Puppy eyes, as you can tell. I hope not. But no, and another reason why that I brought up the fairies too is that you all know that I go gold prospecting. And okay, she said no, she's not mad at me. That's good to know. But I do go gold prospecting down in North Carolina, and there were many a times I was out there in the creeks and there was nobody around. And you know what? It just seems like I was being watched. Maybe it was a Bigfoot, maybe it was a cryptid of some sort, but I felt like I was being watched. But you know what? It really didn't feel like it was bad, but I just had that creepy feeling. Also, being an empath and feeling everything around me, you know what I mean? So who knows what it was? But it did not stop me from going and processing and prospecting gold. And I'll tell you what, it's way better than fishing. I don't know if anybody, people go out there and fishing, but I used to love fishing, but for me right now, it's prospecting gold. So back to the fairies. Now, I also was researching on if you're out in the woods, okay, how do you spot fairies? How do you know if the fairies are around? So I got about 12 different things here that I will share with you, okay? And maybe if Amanda loves fishing, which is cool. I love fishing before, but prospecting is the only way to go. You get wet, you get dirty, but you get, relief. You get happiness when you get some gold. But how, so you're walking out in the woods or you're in a park of some sort and you want to know, well, how do I spot fairies? that, how do I spot them? How do I know they were there? So I got 12 things here, okay, that I'm going to share with you. Um, so how do you spot fairies? Well, again, the first one is spears, orbs, orbs of lights. Okay, spears all around. And before I go on with this, I'm going to share this story, and I'm sure other people have heard this, but I got to share it for the people who haven't. Me and my wife separated, and I was at an apartment building, and my son came over. He was about 7 years old, 6, 7 years old. And in this complex, they actually built gardens, okay, with a garden bench. And so me and my boy, we went out there, and it was just about dusk, okay. And all of a sudden, we started to see these little lights, okay, and he Paul thought they were fireflies, but it couldn't have been because it was like in March, April, that time of the year. But the next time I came out, the next day we went back out and there was again a fairy ring of all mushrooms. So I have no doubt, and that's when, the fairies really kicked in. Is it okay? That's cool, Virginia. That's cool. But whenever you see them again, Virginia, if you ever see the little lights at dark, go back to that same spot the next morning, okay, and see if there's a fairy ring. That would be so cool in your shower. Um, Second one is, the chilling sounds and music. Like when you're out in the woods, you hear, flutes playing. You were taking a shower. Oh my God, that's crazy. Now that could have been a sprite. Could have been a ghost there. Who knows about that? But when you're walking out in the woods and all of a sudden you're hearing these chilling sounds like weird noises and and music, and you're like, where the hell is this coming from? You're probably thinking it's the trees, blowing in the wind and stuff like that. And basically it could be, and that's what your thought is processing. But you know what? It could be that there's fairies hanging around you. Again, the fairy rings. Um, and then when you're hearing laughter out there in the woods, and when you start hearing laughter, now being a city boy like me, out in the woods, and I start hearing laughter, I'm running out of the forest. I'm not going to wait and see if it's a fairy or not because uh, and I was like, oh wow, oh no, I'll be hauling butt, that or cryptid and stuff like that. I don't know. But this fifth one is kind of like ridiculous because it's like it says the scent of flowers. The only thing I could possibly think is if you smell violets and uh, different types of flowers and stuff like that, and there's no flowers around, then hmm, could be that they're there. Now, trust me, everybody. Like I said before, when I started the show, I do believe in them. Um, so it was like I would have no doubt. But like I said, city, I'll be out of there, going back to the motel room. The sixth one is the deviation of the air. When you're walking and you don't feel no wind. It's not it's a nice day, but there's no wind going. All of a sudden, at the bottom of your feet, you start seeing leaves. You know how they swirl around when there's a wind, and they claim that they could be the wings of the fairies. Flapping, and this is all good, okay? Because if you're experiencing all this kind of stuff, right? It means they trust you, and from what I've read and from what I believe it is that if you're a good person, if you really are a good person, um, they're going to be there. Amanda says, "Well, it was magical." Okay. What you saw in the shower. Okay, I can definitely see that, Virginia. I bet it was. Because when I saw those little lights over in the cemetery, that's what I kind of like felt. It was kind of magical, kind of weird, but magical. But Amanda says, I get the smell of gardenias when I'm nowhere around them, or honeysuckles. Oh, Amanda, that's very, very possible that there could be some fairies hanging around. And I'm going to be honest with everybody that here in the room. Okay, honestly, I really truly believe, okay, that you all are very loved. You all are very good people, and that's why all these things are being attracted to you. Um, animal. Okay, the seventh one is animals start acting weird. Like your cats and the animals and stuff like that. Um, Milk or beer or candy goes missing. Shiny objects are missing. Sense of warmth on your skin. Flowers and other plants sprouting from bizarre places. Like, how a flower could be grown up through a crack in the sidewalk. Um, and the 12th one, like we talked about it, the eyes of the woods. Okay. When you're walking through the woods like that, and all of a sudden you start feeling like all the eyes are around you. Okay. So those are like how to spot fairies, to tell how fairies are there. Now you got one more thing to share with you here. And this one here is pretty cool. It is the 13 signs you're one of the Fae. The first one, you're tall and slight of build with sharp features. That's cool, Amanda. Yeah, please, everybody out there, if you hear this, just be honest with yourself. Oh, there I am. Okay. Um, you have small, intense eyes. Oh, I froze. Okay, thank you. Four, you're different in many ways. You're more still than quiet with intense presence. Ah, thank you. I'm glad I'm back. But this is like pretty cool. You know how you're just standing in a room or sitting in a room and you walk and people walk in and it's just like you're intense. You're an intense person, right? Um, let me see. Let's see. You feel more connected to trees, flowers, etc., and through people. That's Tony Freeman. Okay. You don't quite fit in with people, and that's a biggie. And when I read that, okay, or when I saw it in my studies, I ask everybody who joined my group, okay, um, no matter how hard you tried to fit in to people or growing up or being in a clique or something, like no matter how hard you tried to be part of the clique, you just couldn't. It just wouldn't happen. And then another, I'm going to, go on further for that too. I'm going to have another show based on that. I'm not sure. You're the lover of art, music, dance, and beauty. You are a free spirit, both youthful. You're youthful and ancient. You're the lover of trees, and you're shy, kind, but with I can't read my own writing, possibly playful and wise. So if you are any of those 13 signs of a Fae, then you're with them. Okay, you're with them, and I think that is so cool. You know, I mean, I can relate to some of these, and um, my world is. And I don't want to say my world is crazy, but you know what? It's very magical. Even though I go through all this hard stuff, and I think you are like everybody does goes through all kinds of stuff like this. We're magical people. We are good people, and we're magical. And I really truly believe that, excuse me, that this is why the fairies, the gnomes, and any other mystical creature out there um, are drawn to us. Okay, Amanda says, sounds like me except the tall part. I'm short and tiny. Okay, okay. Well, being tiny is even better. You know what I mean? But I hoped everybody enjoyed my little show and talk about the fays and the gnomes. I thought it was okay. And now I'm going to get down to the part where I'm going to draw my 3 cards for everybody. So you all know what to do. I'm going to draw 3 cards, the animal medicine cards. And the first one I'm going to draw will be your past. And the second one will be your now. And the third one will be your future. And please go Google the meanings of the animals. Thank you, Johnny. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So I just shuffled the cards and I am cutting them, right? Okay, I cut the cards. The first one, which is your past, okay, is the dolphin. Go ahead, write that animal down, the dolphin. Okay, I'm going to write it down too. The now card, okay, is the coyote. That is the second card. I'll write that down. And the third card, your future card. Oh, this is a new one. I never drew this before. The jaguar. The jaguar. That is your future. So, like I said, please go Google and see if any of them animals that I drew tonight fit what's going on in your life right now. Cindy Mitch says, amazing show as always. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate it. Thank you, Virginia. Jaguar. So it's getting close. Well, I got a couple more minutes, but Thanksgiving is coming up, and I will have my show on Tuesday. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. You know, um, maybe I'll get a guest. Maybe I won't. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can guarantee for sure that I am going to be on this platform Tuesday night. Still, the person who's starting in front of me got to wait one more week on that. Okay, she's got to wait one more week. So this Tuesday, my show will be from 8:10 p.m. to 9:40 p.m. Okay, to 9:40. Maybe I could take it to 10. I'm not sure, but I know I'll be starting 8:10. But I'm going to have at least, hopefully, an hour and a half show this Tuesday coming up. Excuse me. Um, so everybody, I hope to see you on Tuesdays. Okay. And I really enjoyed tonight. It's funny. I was telling my brother the other day, I feel very comfortable on a Sunday than I do on Tuesday, and I can't figure it out. All right. Uh, I hope you can make it too, Johnny. I hope you can too. That would be nice. Um, but I feel, to be honest with you guys, I feel better doing 2 1-hour shows. Okay. I really, really do. It breaks out the monotony, and um, usually on my 2-hour shows, I'm sure everybody noticed that I got tired and practically falling asleep almost sometimes. But I'm here for Sundays and Tuesdays. And don't forget, please listen on Sunday nights from 7 to 8. You got Jenny Nicasio and Chasing Prophecy. Um, please tune in. Tonight was her first show. I listened to a little bit, and it was a very decent show. Um, so it's good to see her back. Now, November, we are coming up on the holiday. That's cool, buddy. I know you could. I know you could. But coming up on the holidays, okay, um, and people are getting depressed, and it always happens every year between November and December. Okay, and I admit I get depressed too during the um, holiday season. But you know what? It's crazy for me because I'm so damn busy at work dealing with turkeys, hams, and pork, pig, that I don't have time to be depressed. But what happens after um, the holidays are ended, like in January, then it just falls right in. You know, I get tired and I'm tired and I do get depressed. But please, if you see anybody out there hurting during this holiday season, give them a call. Go up to them and sit with them. Invite them over your house and have turkey dinner, and if you don't do that, go like volunteer at like some places where they have turkey dinners for, homeless people. Do something. Because I tell you what, I do it and it just makes me feel so good. It really, really does. To go out, like on Thanksgiving and stuff like that, and helping people. So if you can, just be with somebody and help them out this holiday season. And children, please, if you can, um, go to your parents and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. Since it's the holiday season, you might want to say I love you twice to each other. Twice. That would be pretty cool. And if you don't have any family, if you don't have no children, if you have no parents, and just find somebody, find a friend. Go find a friend and sit and talk with them. You know what I used to do? I used to go out with a couple guys and we would sit and have coffee at a restaurant that would be open like the night before Thanksgiving. Instead of going out to the bars and getting drunk, we would go to a restaurant and drink and just have coffee and pumpkin pie. It's the only time I'll eat pumpkin. It's the only time. Those pumpkin lattes and pumpkin cookies and pumpkin flavored everything else. Nah, that's not just for me. But I want I will definitely see you Tuesday night here on Into the Night on UPRN 105.3 New Orleans and 107.7 Mississippi. Amanda says, I love you all. I feel connected to you all. Good night. God bless you all. God bless you too. And we feel the same for you. Neil Carr says, hey man, how's it going from Portland? Hey Neil, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I can do the pumpkin pie, Amanda. Seriously, no doubt about that. Especially with like a half a can of whipped cream on top of it. All right, good night, Joni. Thank you for being on. So, on that note, everybody, good night. Have a good evening, and I'll see you definitely this Tuesday. And I want to thank everybody who was in the chat tonight. Everyone shared, and it just really made me feel good. So on that note, I just want to wish everybody good night and see you Tuesday at 8:10 p.m.